went on.
Stop. Hello there, everybody. This is Joey Dean from I to Nigh, one of your co-hosts. I'm here joined with Vlad, the other co-host. Vlad, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, it's great to be back. Apologies to the listeners. You know, we were on a little bit of a hiatus, but hey, look, sometimes life happens, you know, so deal with it.
Yeah, when you get old as fuck, like me and Vlad, you know, stuff starts happening with your family and professional life, so...
Your body starts hurting in weird ways.
Yeah, my back is fucking hurting right now.
Oh, dude.
I did nothing.
Yeah.
It's not like I just exercised, did CrossFit, and fell off the dumbbell. I don't even know, you can fall off a dumbbell.
You know, I was reading this book, and this guy was talking about CrossFit, like just kind of in passing. He was like, everyone talks shit about it, so he like had to figure out what was going on with it. And apparently, because I have also talked shit about CrossFit, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? But it's like a supportive community of workout enthusiasts. This could be the propaganda, you know, just putting that out there, but he made it sound like really interesting. So I might check out a CrossFit gym, you know.
Really?
Yeah, so
actually...
actually...
Let me know, honestly, let me know, I'll go with you.
All right, so the weird thing is, like, my barber is in the same building as a CrossFit gym.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, so this is how you were intrigued by CrossFit? Because they, like I said, it seems like there's one on every corner now.
Yeah.
Is that why you got like a little... Like...
Yeah, like I was reading this guy's book, and he was talking about it. And the book has nothing to do with CrossFit. Like, it's about, like, you know, real life, and he had like some, you know, some shit happening in his life, like his son passed away and all this shit. And he was at one point just talking about CrossFit for just randomly. And I was like, everyone knows CrossFit is a cult. And he's like, I actually went and checked it out, and it was just a lot of people being really supportive and like short workouts, but really, you know, intense exercise. And everyone's there clapping. Yay, you did it. Yeah. And I was like, is that what CrossFit is?
I gotta agree. I think it is, because so when I lived in San Antonio, I went to this HEB, a grocery store for the viewers not from Texas, and there was a CrossFit gym, and it was just a bunch of fucking people. They looked jolly as hell. Yeah. It wasn't like walking into like a Gold's Gym where everyone's like a loner, just fucking grunting as they pick up.
Oh yeah,
fuck yeah, baby. It did look like almost like it was like a camp or something, like a program where it's like designed to like, you're working. Though the one thing with CrossFit that's weird is like it's very, maybe not intermittent is the word, but it's like these like real quick, like you do this, now you do that. It's a whole body thing. Yeah. Which I've always been told, like, don't work out the whole body every day. Maybe if you go to a CrossFit gym like 3 times a week, that's probably good. Yeah. But I have been intrigued by doing it because it is a full body thing, man. So if the price is right, I mean, it's better than Orange Theory. I'm not paying $250 to fucking run on a treadmill while someone takes my goddamn blood pressure the whole time. You know what I mean?
So I always thought Orange Theory is like the guys on the exercise bikes with a little microphone just screaming at you like, you're a piece of shit, pedal faster!
Get that fucking foot up now, bitch.
It's like, I'm not gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
But like, going back to the CrossFit thing for a second though, if that's actually what CrossFit is, like, why have we not been doing that? Like, why do we just go to the gym and like torture ourselves in silence?
I don't know. That's the thing with me at the gym is like I'm really good at it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then somehow, some fucking way, I find myself not doing it again. It's so frustrating because it's discipline. Yeah. And like, it's not that if you don't do it, you don't have discipline, but it is like a thing you've got to like, it's a goal. Like every day is a new fucking goal.
You gotta stick with it.
It's tough, man, because a lot of people, you know, they are busy, but there's busier people than us that go to the gym at 4 a.m.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, like The Rock. The Rock wakes up at like 4 a.m.
Jesus.
Drinks those fucking energy drinks that he made and shit, and then drinks a bunch of tequila that he made. He just makes everything, but
I imagine he's just eating a chicken, like just raw,
a whole
every
chicken, not feathers and everything.
Oh yeah,
just dips it in like a siracha,
egg protein. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, that's I'm kind of with you though on the something's got to change.
Yeah,
right. I don't want to be fucking jacked like The Rock or anything, but I want to be fit. Yeah, right? And it's not that hard, right?
CrossFit makes it look easy.
It does. They're very crazy though. I mean, a lot of people. I've known some CrossFit people, and they're a little nutty. Yeah. Which is okay. They do believe CrossFit is like the ultimate like aspiration in terms of like fitness.
Yeah.
I can't do the running. I will tell them that if I go there. I'll just say I'm not doing any running. You can make me jump on the monkey bars a million times. That's cool. Or whatever you guys are doing, pounding the medicine balls into each other's guts and nuts. But I will not run.
Guts and nuts.
My guts and nuts. That's going to be my CrossFit gym.
Oh, you should make
Guts
a
and
tank
nuts.
top with it.
That would
Guts
be
and
sick.
nuts.
That's another reason. It's like I'm just tired of being portly, if that's
Are
the
you
word.
portly though?
I don't know. In terms of,
I don't think you're portly.
I think most men in today's world look like me.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That's fine. But I think there is something to be said about those people that kind of do get like that physique. There's a lot of them are tool bags. We know that. Some douches here and there that are like super fit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that are just normal dudes that are just like wanting to get fit.
Yeah.
And if I got fit, let me tell you, Vlad, I wouldn't be showing it off. I wouldn't be wearing tight shirts. Anything. I want the long baggy. I don't want people to know. You know what I mean? That's my thing.
Fuck that.
Fuck them.
I feel like that's the complete opposite.
Oh, you want them to know?
Yeah, like I will wear a child's small and just
Good child, small from Old Navy.
like if I'm putting that work in and my body looks just amazing,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, everyone. Like I feel like I'm usually like a kind of a reserved person, but no, like if I am like looking that good, everyone is gonna know about it.
That's true. I mean, I guess that's easy for me to say I wouldn't show it off. I don't have it, so of course I'm not showing it off now. But yeah, it might change. You know what I mean? If I get those fucking glutes, baby, I might get those fabletics too for men.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The gym shark for men. Those
Gotta
booty shorts for men, baby. Let me get that.
You'll be on the beach in Jupiter, Florida, shrugging your stuff.
Just a banana hammock and some fucking like little white shoes or something. I don't know.
Oh man.
Damn.
But speaking of Jupiter, how was that? Because you guys were there for how long?
Yeah, so my wife's, I guess my father-in-law, mother-in-law live in Jupiter, Florida, which anyone who's not familiar with Jupiter, it's like a retirement town in Florida. It's beautiful. You got a lot of famous, depending on what you follow in pop culture, but you got a lot of retired golfers. Tiger Woods has a big house there.
Oh.
Tons of golfers live there. There's some other athletes. I think there's like some NFL athletes that live there. It's basically a retirement town, but it's a dream world.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know you went to Vegas, and that's also a dream world.
Yeah.
But Jupiter is like a very just, everything goes by like very slow, and you know, you go out to eat or you go to the beach, and where they live in particular is like the most amazing community. It's very quiet, everything's brand new, country club. It's just shit I never grew up with.
Yeah.
So when I go there, I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna get a house here. And then you look at real estate there, and it's like, oh, this is like $900,000 for this guy.
I'm not gonna get a house.
Yeah, so I'll have to wait till they waited, or my parent-in-laws. So, but it's nice. It's nice to be by the water. I mean, I love Florida. I know a lot of people don't like Florida for whether it's DeSantis or what, you know what I mean? Like, who knows what the fuck it is, but I love Florida. I think the culture is great there.
Do you think you'd ever move there?
Well, my wife and I both love Florida. So we have talked about moving there. There was a company that's one of our corporate sponsors for the business school at the university I go to, Texas State, that's called Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a tech company. And they just opened up it's either they opened up or they have a main headquarters in Fort Myers.
Okay.
Florida. But that's the thing with Florida, is like you can go, Jupiter's beautiful, but it's you got to be relatively well off to move to Jupiter to live comfortably in like a beautiful home. But then you go to Fort Myers and it's like it's different feel. So it's like I don't want our image of Florida to determine like when we move here, it's going to be like when we go to Jupiter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tough because Jupiter there's not a lot of employment opportunities. You got people working remotely if they're young and then either retired.
Okay.
You know, living there.
So like the feel is different, like city to city.
Yeah. It's also scary moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going from, I know Texas and Florida kind of have like the same state laws and shit. But it is still different for me because I don't like change just from growing up, you know, changing here and there.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid of change, but Florida is nice. I love Texas though, but if I were to move, I would really want to move like into another country, even though that's all fucked up now. Still can't really do anything because of COVID still. But what about you, man? What about Vegas? Was that your first time going?
No, but actually, hang on. I want to go back to something you said though.
Bring it on.
So I think at some point you should move out of Texas.
Oh, for sure.
And like even like internationally, because the thing is, when I feel like as an adult, when you move, it's different than like, you know, you're younger, you move, because like I think our backgrounds from like childhood are kind of similar. Like we moved around a fair bit.
Yeah.
And so like when Janelle and I moved to Chicago, that was like, I was like,
oh yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, but it was like a very different perspective on life that I wouldn't have gotten, you know? So like I made the jump at some point and it was like, this is a kind of like a, people operate this way. This is kind of weird. And then I warmed up to it and then I kind of like found the things that I like. And then ultimately it was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Like I'm going back to Texas.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say like, it's a valuable experience.
Yeah. It is. You can learn a lot about yourself and other places and not be so trapped in a bubble. The thing with, you got to move with Janelle at the same time, like because you guys both went to UT at one point.
So she was basically like, hey, like I'm gonna get a PhD. I'm applying to these schools. Northwestern is one of those schools.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind at the time, I had never traveled outside of, is that true? No, I had been outside, I think, the country once, but I had always lived in Texas.
Yeah.
So never been up north. Like, I think we maybe went to Florida once to visit some relatives for Thanksgiving. So snow, I was like, no, thank you.
Fuck that.
Like,
I've seen Home Alone.
Yeah, and Chicago's cold as fuck, right?
Yeah.
So, but I was definitely like, okay, so I can move with her or I can stay here. But, you know, I figured I was like young enough. I was like, well, if this all goes to shit, like, I mean, I'm just like 20 something. It'll be fine. Like,
right.
I'll pick myself up. And it was like, to be honest, I hated Chicago at first. Like the first maybe 2-3 months.
It's so different.
It is. So the thing is, like, it's a very, coming from the South, I would say it's a very impersonal city until you get to know people.
That's the thing, is the politeness is not there in Chicago.
No.
As it isn't, because I was raised and you were raised, yes ma'am, no sir.
Yeah.
They think you're in the military in Chicago if you say that. You know what I mean? It's really weird, because when we visited you guys, we went on that architecture tour of the boat, and I said yes ma'am to the chick taking my ticket, and she's like, what's wrong? Why'd you call me ma'am? They get offended.
Are you okay, sir?
Yeah, they really get offended, because it's almost, to them, it implies they're old or something.
Yeah.
When to us, it's like, I would say that to
it's just respectful.
Yeah.
And the Southern hospitality, I think, is, well, I mean, obviously it's not there because you're not in the South.
Right.
But it's like, the thing is, though, here, I feel like in Texas and in the South, like I can strike up a conversation at the grocery store with a random stranger. Yeah. Right? It's like, oh man, these prices are going up. Or like, there's one can of soup left. Are you going for it? Yeah. Like, 'cause I'm going for it.
I'll let you have it. I can go to the other one.
Exactly. But like, you know, kind of up north and like in Chicago, there's not that, I don't want to call it like fake politeness, but there's not that like surface grease.
It's that big city, like, get your shit, get out.
Big shoulders, like, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, once you find like your people, then it's like, they're with you.
And they're out there.
Yeah.
Anywhere you ever move, you're going to find.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like intrigues. I'm a big people person. I know you are too. I love meeting new people.
I'm actually not a big people person.
Really?
No, I'm not, like.
But I feel like anytime we go, like, for instance, we went to Mexico.
Yeah.
For, what did we do there?
Vacation.
We just went to visit friends in Mexico. They own
yeah.
property there, and we got to stay there for free. It was beautiful, amazing. Bucerias. We did a plug for it. I felt like you were really, like, you were speaking to everybody. Like, even people who weren't speaking English.
Yeah. So it's funny, right? Like, at one point in my, like, so obviously if you've ever met me or like, you know, you will figure out pretty quickly I'm an introverted kind of guy, right? Yeah. So I'm not like, oh, hey! But the thing is, like, because, you know, of course that's what extroverted people do, right?
Right. They just jump on the table like Coyote Ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Down.
Fucking
twerking everywhere to Megan the Stallion.
But, so there was like one point where my godfather was like, he realized like I was very introverted, and he was like, okay, it's not a problem, but like you kind of need to like open up to people a little bit more. So, and this is when I was living in Austin, like going to UT and like working a summer job. So we would go to the Central Market. I think it's on like 30 something street, like kind of close to the university, like halfway in between.
Yeah, right there on like Lamar and
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So he would force me to talk to the cashiers and like find out like what their favorite colors or an interesting detail or like whatever. I mean, also too, right? It helps with just talking to people.
Yeah.
And also like, you know, if you're trying to date people, that also helps too.
Oh yeah, icebreakers.
Yeah. Just like the fluidity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, over time is like, now I know how to talk to people.
Well, he did a fucking good job with you, man. Because I've never even had that inclination that you had some sort of like not social, non-awareness, whatever. But like I never figured that from you. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to talk to people. Like I just let them talk.
Yeah, that's an everyday. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's like an everyday thing for me. Sometimes I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Just you just want it to be over. Not life, the situation. Yeah, that's
okay, Joey. This is a safe space.
Yeah. This is like my therapy right here. No, that's pretty interesting though, and yeah, I do agree with you that you should be able, or not should be able to. I think everyone's able to, but you should move out of your comfort zone, whether it's another state or country or whatever.
See, now I can't stop people from coming up and talking to me, which is the problem.
I know.
All these randos, and I'm like, no, I don't want to join your thing.
I don't want to join your R. Kelly sex cult. Thank you though.
Thank you though.
I thought he was in prison already. Yeah, no, that's weird. But speaking of Las Vegas, though, I've never been to Las. I know I went when I was a little baby. My mom tells me all that. She's like, "You've been to Vegas. You're a baby." I was like, "That doesn't mean I've been to Vegas." Yeah, but how's Vegas? You ever been?
Yeah, so I have been to Vegas once before. I went for a conference. I think it was like an engineering conference or something. So, you know, as one does if you're going to a city for a conference, you don't really get the full feel of the city. You're just kind of there. Most of the focus is the conference, and then you're going out to like restaurants and bars at night, just kind of socializing with people. So my impression of Vegas was like, it's a very in-your-face, flashy place. People are going to gamble. Like, you're at the casino. Like the, hey, big spender.
Come on, babe.
Exactly.
You got the Vegas Elvis guy.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to go back to Vegas. Like, it's not going to be a fun time. I'm not going to enjoy myself. But my brother-in-law, we're on this like in-law kick for, vacations.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law is like he's a Vegas guy. Like, he goes there, he has a good time.
He's a hard-working man, right?
Yeah.
He wants to go enjoy himself.
He'll blow off some steam.
Yeah.
As any red-blooded American would do.
Yeah, brother.
But so he enjoys going to the casinos as well as seeing the shows, the food, like the full experience. And I'm actually, so the other, I guess, important detail here is he just turned 40. So he was like, you know what, 40th birthday, I want to take a trip with like family and friends. Let's go to Vegas. Let's have a good time. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to go to Vegas, but brothers, like, you turn 40, like, I'm not going to say no to this.
Yeah.
But I had a really good time, like a great time, I would say. So we hit up the shows, we did a little bit of gambling, we did restaurants, we did a pool party, which was crazy.
Yeah, that looked fun, man.
Oh,
It looked like what you would imagine a pool party in Vegas looks like.
Yeah.
And I always see them.
Packed
the
as
Jersey
shit.
Shore kids are out there on Instagram. It looked
Bro,
like that.
Yeah, come on!
Play more!
And it was... But the thing is, like, I feel like there are two things that I think are important for Vegas. The first is you have to know how to do Vegas.
Money.
Yeah. So that's one thing. So for example, for the pool party, there's different lines. And I had no idea about this. So I'm like very glad that like my brother-in-law was like, hey, okay, here's how we can do this. So to get into the pool party, there's a general admission line, which is like you just show up and you're in line trying to purchase a ticket. There's the party pass line. So if you pay, I think it's like $100, you'll get a wristband that, gives you the shortcut or like the VIP access. Then there's like, beyond that is like the baller one, which is like, get your own little reserved section and you get the cabanas and, bottle service and all that.
How much is that, you think?
I mean, that's like
1,000?
Yeah, it's like 1,500. Like, fuck that.
Ooh.
So we were in like we did the party pass one, and I'm so glad because the lines were insane.
Just for drinks and stuff, or just to get in?
Just to get in the door.
And these are like just hotels throughout the strip, or what?
So the one we went to is called Wet Republic. And
yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, okay. So it's at a hotel, but like just the amount of people trying to get in through the door in general admission is just packed.
And they're fucking bathing suits and
Yeah,
shit.
like people are out there with their floaties, their bathing suit, you know, it's just like, everyone just wants to have a good time. So yeah, you pay a little bit of a premium just to shortcut the line, but you have that experience of like, okay, now you're in.
Yeah, everything's good. Like,
yeah.
So do those tickets, the tiers and different tiers or whatever, do they help you with drinks and shit, or is it like you still got to go get a fucking drink full price?
You still got to get a drink full price.
Unless you go baller.
Exactly.
1,500.
If you're
a couple bottles here and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for us, you know, obviously we were not like balling out of control. Like,
right.
So we were just like, okay, we'll pay $100, we'll jump the line, but we're still gonna get, you know, we gotta wait in line like the rest of the schmucks.
But you know what the thing is? What you just said there? Like, you guys are the ones that could afford it. The ones that do that kind of shit are the ones that cannot afford it.
Yeah.
Typically.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't
true.
say, I don't know what the percentage is, but you know a lot of people. I mean, I grew up like that where I was like, blow the whole check.
Blow it!
I'd get like paid $1,100.
Got that stimmy!
Every 2 weeks when I was like 20, I'd be like, I went to the mall. One day I went to the mall.
Mm.
That was the Friday, or I think it was the Saturday. I went to the mall, spent $600, and then the same night I went to the strip club with a bunch of friends and spent the $500. And I was broke by Monday. I had no food. I mean, to me, that's like what embodies Vegas, the power.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like you guys still did the right thing, even though you could have been like, yeah, fuck it, $1,500. But it's like, that's still a big chunk of change for, to me, anyone in this world right now.
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting. Like, I feel like there's so many people there that are, like, in a lot of parts of, like, posing.
Yeah.
You know?
Doing it for the gram. You're just
exactly.
having all these fun experiences, and you're like, oh, yeah, awesome. And then, like, you look at your checkbooks, and you're just like, okay.
A lot of pyramid scheme owners.
Oh,
Just partying their ass off. Someone else's money.
Herbalife.
Yeah, Herbalife clinics and
there was
kiosks.
So it's so random. Like when I was working in Houston, I was at the grocery store, and this was like my first job. You know, I was like working for this company, and the grocery store was like a block away from my house. So I'm, you know, in there just shopping as one does, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, you know, I just like very professional. Like he had a blazer on, and he's like, do you work in tech? I work in tech too. So I was like, okay, all right, like I'm gonna stop and listen to you.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows something. Like, let's share the industry. And so he was like, yeah, you know, I'm, you know, have this like side investment and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, where's this guy going with this? Like, did you create your own startup? You got a side hustle? Like, what's going on? Turns out this guy wants to sign me up for Amway.
Oh no.
And so he gave me the CD and he's like, just listen.
It'll change your life.
And then he's like, but I need $5 for the CD. I was like, take this shit,
Cash.
bro. I was like, fuck you.
Anybody says $5 for anything.
God.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of that out there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that happens a lot to me. There's some weirdos that just come up to me and try to sell me on like an experience, and it's either I think they're insane or I'll end up getting murdered or arrested because of them. So I just don't do it. I have like a really weird intuition. It's usually wrong, but.
But I mean, if you think about it, right? Like a lot of the timeshare ones, like the timeshare vacation ones, are super sketch. Like, like when you say it out loud, it's like you need to come to this undisclosed location for an entire day where we're going to do some activity that we're not going to tell you about.
Right.
And then at the end of it, we'll give you, you know, a week.
On lunch.
Yeah. And it's like, wait, you want to take me where? But you can't tell me?
Yeah.
And you also can't tell me what's going on?
And I can't leave.
And I'm in like some other place that's not like my home city?
Yeah. Those were good old days for marketers and salespeople. Those like grifters that could do the timeshare thing before the internet was a thing, and you
fuck the timeshare.
Those gullible people, because they were usually retirees, right? So it was usually people with family, a young family. So I mean, those were like just crazy times. A lot of people just grifted so many fucking people on that shit.
I bet they.
Because anyone today, I mean, we know enough today to where we'd be like, I don't want to fucking. I barely want a free sample at Costco.
I mean, we also have the
can't sell me
internet too. So.
True. Yeah. I mean, anytime I get like I fill out a job application, I just go to Reddit. I just type the company name and I go Reddit, and boom, it's just like a bunch. I don't know. They could be bots. I don't fucking know. But usually it's a bunch of people reassuring me like, don't fuck with these people. So that's a powerful thing that a lot of our, you know, family members didn't have back in the day. But speaking of that, just what we've gone through growing up with Facebook.
Oh yeah.
One of the the biggest social network, owns a bunch of other proprietary shit. Instagram, WhatsApp, all that shit. Oculus.
Oh yeah.
They have changed their name to Meta. But before we get into Meta, the whole whistleblower thing, what do you think about that, Vlad?
So I thought that was an interesting one. I did a little bit of digging just to see what the whistleblower was talking about, and basically she was saying that, well, yeah, there's a whole controversy on it. So listeners, if you haven't, I mean, by now you've probably heard about this and seen it in the news or whatever. But the thing was that she was saying is basically like Facebook is aware that its algorithms kind of push content on younger kids, especially like teen girls. Like they might look up recipes for cooking, right? Like the GIF recipes. And then all of a sudden it's like 2 weeks later, boom, like anorexia content. And it's like, whoa, wait a second. Like, and it just contributes to their negative self-image. So she was saying, she was like, Facebook knows that this is a problem and they're just like not willing to do anything about it. They're just like, well, maybe we'll just rebrand it. It's not the anorexia content.
It's social awareness content.
Exactly. And so, of course, then like Zuck comes out and says, I don't believe that.
That is my data. By law. He's a lizard.
The thing is, like, as much money as that man has, like,
how much more do you need?
Nobody has all. I need all of it,
You're
Joey.
a socialist, Joey.
All of it. But like nobody at Facebook was like, you know what, your media trainer, I think we kind of need to fire that person.
But that's the thing I read was there's a shit ton of some sort of like, whether it's through email and shit, but a lot of people who work at Facebook don't like Zuck, which is, obviously we get that.
Yeah.
No one likes polarizing figures. Like, sure, a lot of people didn't like Steve Jobs. But Steve Jobs to me is totally different than what Mark Zuckerberg has done compared to what Steve Jobs founded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a ton of backlash from Facebook employees and whatever their conglomerates are. So it's there. Their voice is obviously too tiny to be heard. And if Zuckerberg doesn't like anyone's voice, you get rid of them.
Done.
Yeah, you're done working at the Facebook.
You're gonna swim with the fishes tonight, Billy.
I'm gonna freaking murder your head. What? No, the whole thing with the whistleblower coming out, it's kind of weird because I'm like, I feel like we knew this already. We all know social media.
So you're like, what's her angle?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we all know social media has fucked everyone up. Like, for instance, teenage girls. They've already had it tough since
the
40s and 50s. Yeah, even before then, I'm sure.
The magazine ads and all that shit.
Just from what I've heard from my mother growing up in the 50s, right? Like, she was like she was like 7 then. But like, the 50s, 60s, girls have all... Maybe I should reframe that. Girls have always had a tougher time than men, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously, social media is not going to be a benefit to young women. It's barely a benefit to young men, if it is at all. But like, just the imaging and what they portray you as, and the filters and the this and the that, and all these asshole influencers that are like, that's not even what they look like in real life. So I can imagine how tough it is for a young woman or girl in this world growing up with that shit. So to me, it wasn't anything new. I'm just kind of like, because it involves a lot of regulatory issues too. So I'm like, is this a thing to get the government involved in splitting businesses up and like regulating stuff? I don't know. All I know is that it is harmful. Yeah. At least in my eyes, to the greater good of mankind.
We should put a warning label on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Just like cigarettes.
A sticker. You know what I mean?
18 plus to use social media.
Yeah. It's fucked up. I mean, even if you're our age, I think, depending on where you're at in your life, cognitively, I think it's harmful for you too.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what you said, right? You're being bombarded with these images of like, everyone, like, here's what perfect looks like.
Right.
Either the perfect like female image or the perfect male image or the perfect vacation, the perfect lifestyle. Like, no one is going on there and being like, look at my beer belly.
Yeah.
You know?
And those people, I guarantee you, 50% are miserable. They're not happy people. They're not happy.
Yeah.
That's just the image we play. Like, I know I grew up with a ton of rich people, like as friends and their family. They were not happy.
Yeah.
They were some of like the most like messed up people in the world. So it's not like, that's not what you should aspire to be.
But see, here's why I think the whistleblower blew the whistle, I guess.
Blow the whistle, bitch.
I think she was. To me, like I read that as like her personal conviction. Like she was seeing all this stuff, and she was like, "Is no one gonna like stand up and say anything?" And so I think she was like, "Okay, I can't live with myself unless I raise my hand and do something about it."
Yeah.
But I think you're also right in that, like, yeah, we all know this. Like, Facebook has known about this. It's like, there's no.
At this point.
It's not like you have the largest social media company on the planet, all these like PhD data scientists, you know,
the smartest people in the world work for Facebook.
And then you're just like, I don't know if like my algorithm is bad or not. Like, no, they knew. So I think she just like, it was a personal kind of like a morality thing.
Right.
I think the way that they did go about it was interesting. So for example, I think the lawsuit or like whatever the thing is, right, is like through the SEC, which is not the way I would expect it to be. But I think it is kind of like a play to like, hey, the government needs to step in. And I think that's because tech companies, you know, all the time are like, they don't want to be regulated. Right.
So, and Congress hates them.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
So, oh God, the hearings with Zuck, and it's like, you just grandpa. So if someone hits the like button.
So I got my phone here, Mr. Zuck, and you can get my email on there, my Hotmail.
Oh my God. It's like, Grandpa, you're asking the wrong questions.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't even know how to approach these questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too, right? Our politicians are so old that they're like, their lifestyle.
So sad.
They're like 70 and 80 years old. Like, they don't
There's
understand.
There's gotta be a cap.
Take them out back.
That's cap. All right, old yeller, you've been good to me, but
that's a joke. That's a joke, folks.
Oh God, yeah. We're not trying to threaten anyone's life here, man. We're law-abiding non-gun owners in Austin, okay?
Well, speak for yourself.
Maybe. Try me. Anyways, Vlad.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about the politicians approaching social networks and how to maybe regulate them.
So the thing is, like, I think it's interesting how the whistleblower did it with the FCC.
Yeah.
Because that's not how I would have expected.
The Securities Exchange Commission. Like,
right.
What's that got it? Yeah.
Exactly. And so the thing is, like, oh God, I can't remember it exactly, but there's a reason why it's kind of like I don't want to say it's a political angle, but it's kind of like a clever way of trying to force the government.
Go towards the money. Right, because that's like stocks and right. I mean, would that not be maybe what you're thinking?
No, I think there's something that the SEC oversees, and I think Facebook, in kind of like a weird way, like you can make the argument that they touch that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the whistleblower went and was like, "Hey, SEC, you need to do something here."
Yeah.
Because I think in the past, right, like Microsoft had like an antitrust thing. I think Google had an antitrust thing. There's like a kind of a pattern to how it usually goes, and this is not the usual way.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And I fucking hate Facebook. I hate all of it. I'm on Instagram. I mean, I'm even on TikTok, and I got rid of my Facebook. I will say that.
Are you on WhatsApp?
I'm on WhatsApp, but like I hate fucking WhatsApp. Like I know we try to use Signal.
Yeah.
WhatsApp is so just... I don't know. I use it because my family's on it. So that's the only way because, you know, they're either in Colombia or they're in Houston or they're in Florida. So, not that it matters if you're in the United States, you can still SMS. But it's not, I guess my point is it doesn't surprise me at all when Facebook, in its birthright, started out as Zuck, downloading all these Harvard chicks shit illegal, or I don't know if it was illegal or not, don't quote me on that, but takes all their profile pics and makes it like a rating, almost like a Tinder for like 2002 for Harvard.
It
steals all their info and it makes it like a rate this chick.
It's really creepy when you think about it.
Yeah, so it's like, to me, it's like if you know the history or just a basic understanding of where he came from or started as a young lizard man, you understand that it was bound to end up at this point. And I think, it's just once the whole marketing thing came out in the big data stuff where you could sell all their analytics and what they do. And because, they made their money off ads and all that shit. So it's like, this just doesn't shock me. Should it be, some light shed on it? Of course. Because, I mean, young women are suffering from it. A lot of people are suffering from it. But I do know young women in particular, that's a tough spot to be in. Even without social media, just with the image issues and are you skinny enough? Do you wear enough makeup? Are you rich enough? Can you buy these clothes? It's fucked up. So like as a dude growing up, I grew up with that, you know, like private school, like where could you afford this shit? Could you do that?
Right.
Or you were poor or whatever. So, you know, it's tough, and obviously social media doesn't help, but you know, it's a weird one.
It is. The thing I would say, so I agree with that, but the thing I would also say is like we can't regulate ourselves out of all of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like also too, there's a question in my mind of like, what does regulating Facebook look like? Because you're talking about data, so like the people asking the questions don't even understand how the data. They don't even understand how the network works.
They can't get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, like I would not trust Congress to be like, here's how we're going to regulate like social media companies.
Oh my god, that's
but
scary.
The other thing too, though, is like there's also some responsibility with the parents. Like if your kid is on, like I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but like there needs to be some kind of parental presence where not even that you're like taking away their phone or limiting their screen time, but you as a parent need to also be contributing healthy values to your kid and like having open dialogues and discussions. Like if your kid is like, oh, like I'm puking every single day in the bathtub at school or you know, the toilet at school, like you shouldn't, like you should kind of know that something, like I don't know, I don't have kids, so it's hard for me to like say that this should be a thing, but I feel like shouldn't you know, like shouldn't you have some kind of clue?
You would think. I think a lot of parents don't even suspect it because the shit could be right under your nose, whether it's drugs or like violence or you're getting abused. Like a lot of kids can hide it or whatever. You know, some parents are just like, whether it's like they don't want to choose to believe it or not, but a lot of parents will miss that mark because they're just either involved in their own professional life or trying to make sure they give their kid the best life and inadvertently not giving them the best life by not paying attention to them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors to that, but like social media, like how as a parent do you even like, my kid, say I got a daughter 16, I can monitor her phone, she's still gonna find a way to get on. You know what I mean? In this day and age, it's just like, it's fucking hard to like monitor what my kid is doing or what they're seeing or hearing or.
Yeah, there's no disconnect button, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like before the internet was like such an integral part of all of our lives, like you could just pull a cable on the computer. Yeah. Now it's like you got your smartwatch, you got your cell phone, you got your laptop.
You're connected.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the next point, which is Meta. Facebook has changed its corporate name to Meta. Or MetaCorp Inc. or something. To be short, it's Meta.
Yeah.
But it is, in Mark Zuck's eyes, his squinty lizard eyes that shift and have 3 eyelids, he is saying it's like a endless possibility to meet in a virtual world. Instead of sitting in front of a computer screen and seeing the internet right there through this barrier, you can now connect with people through almost it's like a VR kind of, which to me makes me think there's going to be another season of To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen, because now with VR, who knows where these guys are going in, or women,
I didn't even thought about that.
Yeah. It's like that just opens up a whole new can of worms, right? Yeah. But what do you think about this? It's fucking creepy. It's like Zuck saw these issues and went, let me make it deeper.
Let's capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I read like some press briefing and they were talking about, that Facebook is rebranding, changing its name to Meta. They want to focus on the metaverse. And I was like, what's the metaverse? And I Googled it and they're like, well, it's like virtual reality. It's also augmented reality. And it's like some other stuff. But then it's like, what are you trying to do here? Like, you've already seen the impact that Facebook has had on the real world. Yeah. Now you want to take it to the next level? Like, this is...
I don't like it.
I'm actually surprised Zuck hasn't changed his name too. I mean, but the thing that occurs to me though is like talking about name changes. Do you think Ron Artest is going to be a spokesperson for Facebook? Meta World Peace. Meta and Meta.
That would be a great. You know, he was a pioneer. Because I didn't even know what meta meant. I knew it was like Greek or Latin or something when he did it back in like probably like 2010 or something. But yeah, he definitely needs to be a spokesperson for Zuck. It'll help Zuck's image to have Meta World Peace there, you know, be nice. I'll at least trust Zuck a little more if I see Meta World Peace, aka Ron Artest, up in that bitch. If I could be in a virtual reality basketball game with Meta World Peace, that would be cool.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
He could virtually punch me in the face. I don't know, because, you know, obviously Facebook owns or bought the rights to Oculus, or bought the company, so they operate within them. And the only great news I can say from my perspective about this whole Meta bullshit is San Andreas, GTA San Andreas, Facebook is bringing that to the Oculus too. And I can't fucking wait. I will buy the fucking Oculus for that. So
I don't know, man. Like, I'm excited about it as soon as you mention it, and then like the 30-year-old in me kicks in, and I'm like, there's gonna be fucking ads and downloadable content.
Fuck, you're right. Actually, yeah.
I don't know.
Have you heard of ZipRecruiter? Motherfucker, I'm in the middle of a mission.
CJ needs a job.
ZipRecruiter is the #1 way to hire and fire.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, the ads are just pissing me off. Like, honestly, I'll try to fucking watch like a... Now they're doing it on Instagram. I follow Barstool Sports just because of the outrageous like video. I love sports too, but the outrageous videos they post from here on in. They do a thing called the 1 Minute Man, where it's just like a real short segment on like current events. It's a 1 minute fucking video, maybe almost 2, just because of he talks a little over. But they are now putting ads in the fucking Instagram posts. So like I'm watching it, I'm 10 seconds in, I'm like, yeah, and then fucking an ad for, you know, Tiff's Treats comes up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? You know?
I love the outrage because I hate ads with passion.
God, it's insane.
Like when I heard about the metaverse thing, that's the first thing. It's like, this is just another way to service bullshit ads.
There's nothing more dystopian than an ad for a 1 minute fucking video. It's like I'm living in Blade Runner, honestly. Like I'm walking around in like this dusty, old, forgotten city, and I'm seeing all these ads pop up in my face. That's what we live in now.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy. I don't want to know what it's going to be like. In like 20 years, it will be like Blade Runner. I'm going to be hunting down old robots from Facebook's, you know, original VR system, you know?
Zuck 1.0.
You've been terminated. 0114980.
You know, the funny thing though is like Futurama did it first though. There's an episode of Futurama where they're talking about Lightspeed briefs, and while the characters are sleeping, there are ads playing in their dreams.
Oh my god, spooky.
Welcome to the metaverse, baby.
Seriously. You know what? I'm good with all this technology as long as I can record, my dreams. You know what I mean? I want to be able to have that power, like to like DVR. Let me TiVo that fucking dream I just had. How crazy would that be? I would pay top dollar. Literally, if they said, "Hey, your subscription is $1,000 a month. We have the technology now. It's proven. You know, we have 1 million subscribers to dreamfans.com." I would do it.
What were you dreaming, bro?
That's the thing. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't remember. Like, I'll wake up and my wife Natalia will turn over and she'll be like, "Oh my god, I had the craziest dream. You were smoking a cigarette. I was so pissed. I was sad." I'm like, how do you know what? Like, I barely remember my dreams.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're so crazy. Like, you would want to know what.
Yeah.
Like, what I mean by that is like you get to watch the dream. What you saw.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Because like at one point, I feel like when I was a little kid, I didn't dream. At least I don't remember the dreams often.
Yeah.
But the ones I did were just like so weird.
Very vibrant and real. And,
yeah.
Like not vibrant, vivid.
There was like one I think I had as a kid. Like I was getting tossed in like a cauldron. And like it was super orange.
By Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, like these witches were stirring up the thing, and I was like,
Jesus.
"This is random as fuck." But then, like as an adult now, like I don't remember my dreams. I'm like, there's something about a thing, and then like 5 minutes later, I'm just like, forget. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool though. The VR stuff though is fun. I've played. I don't know if it was the Oculus or.
Oh, dude,
is it the Rift? Is the Rift the same as the Oculus?
Yeah, Oculus Rift I think is one of the.
There's another one that I know my buddy Daryl and Julie, have, and it was insane because it's the first time I've ever done. It was a zombie game. It was so immersive. Yes, it felt fucking crazy. Like when I couldn't load my gun, I felt like I couldn't load my gun.
Oh shit!
So I can't imagine what that's gonna. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Can't imagine what that's gonna be like in 10 years. 5 to 10 years, because VR's been out for 2010 maybe. It's like it first came to be like a realistic thing you could do.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you feel about that, but
it's coming. I think that's gonna be fun. Like there's a VR experience at the Domain that I really want to try because
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's the full immersive and
you got
it's
a
like,
team with you. You got your buddies.
It's
like
like
you never see them.
It's like laser tag, but like
yes,
much better.
That's what it looks like exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very immersive. It looks fun. It's expensive though.
Yeah.
It's like $100 or something.
Yeah,
right?
it's not cheap.
So I don't know. We need to get a fucking Oculus, bro.
Oh yeah.
Just quit our day jobs. Yeah, just fucking Oculus it up. Guys, with that being said, we want to thank you again for listening to the latest edition of I to Nigh with Vlad and Joey. I know, as Vlad said earlier, it's been a long time since we've been back. It's been about 2 weeks,
yeah,
3 weeks?
2, 3 weeks.
A lot going on. I want you guys to know that we are here to stay. This was a little hiccup, little stuff here and there, you guys understand, but we can't wait to bring you new content. We're going to bring you new social media content. We also want to plug in, before we go, an Austin local attraction here called Meanwhile Brewery. Vlad, what do you think about Meanwhile Brewery?
Yeah, so Meanwhile is a nice little watering hole, a little bit down south. You know, of course, you've got all the bars and, you know, some typical breweries, but Meanwhile goes the extra step. So what Meanwhile will do for you is you go there, you know, you can bring your dog if you want to, because that's the thing nowadays. You get a nice little selection of beer, wine. I think they sometimes even have like guest ciders. But
food trucks everywhere.
Oh yeah, they got the food trucks. There's even what do you call it? A stage where they have live
good music.
Yeah, live music perform. It's a great spot to just go hang out, chill after work on weekends, whenever. So Meanwhile Brewing, if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely give it a shot, give it a check out.
It's great. And I know some of these Austin plugs we do, it's like your typical like, oh god, here comes another brewery. But this place is obviously it's a brewery, so it's got a lot of outdoor seating. I had my last birthday party there, 33, you gotta go to a brewery, you can't fucking go to a goddamn arcade anymore. So, but this place was a lot of fun. The drinks are really well priced. Bunch of, like Vlad said, a different assortment of things. Great food, great atmosphere, tons of people, live music. Can't go wrong. Actually, they have a soccer field there too, which is really cool. So you can literally go out there, shoot the shit, fucking play soccer. You could play a pickup game, or you could just like kick the fucking soccer ball. Everyone's super friendly. I actually lost like a $200 pair of Ray-Bans there. Most expensive glasses I've ever owned. Natalia bought them for me for our wedding. And no one stole them. They returned them to the front. So I've had a great experience. Yeah, I went there the next day after my birthday party. And just picked them up from the guy at the bar, totally untouched. So right there, it should show you that it's a good place to go. So guys, check out Meanwhile Brewery in Austin. You won't regret it. Really fun place. Let us know what you think in the comments. We're going to be posting stuff on our YouTube and other socials like Instagram. Can't wait to talk to you guys again soon. Vlad, any closing words?
No, I think you hit it, man. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.